right, ready to dive deep. Today, it's all about glass.
Glass.
Yeah, glass. You might think, windows, bottles, boring. But trust me, this is going to be anything but boring.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
We've got excerpts from the history of glass, and wow, talk about a surprise hit. I mean, this stuff shapes civilizations.
Seriously.
Seriously. From like volcanic glass to the stuff that lets us see the stars, it's all connected.
Huh. I guess I never thought about it like that.
Right, so picture this. Early humans battling it out with obsidian spear tips.
Obsidian, that's volcanic glass, right?
The one and only. Our source mentions how they used it for all sorts of tools, too, not just weapons.
Well, it makes sense if you think about it.
Right, it's sharp, readily available back then. Must have seemed like magic.
Totally. Plus, that sharpness comes from its structure, no regular crystals, so it fractures in that perfect way.
So it wasn't just luck they found a good material.
Nope, it's science. And that same property made obsidian good for, get this, surgical instruments later on.
Whoa, really? So from caveman tools to, like, ancient surgery?
Pretty impressive, right?
Totally. Okay, so then we fast forward a bit, like a lot.
How much are we talking?
Try 4000 BC. That's when humans started making glass, not just using what they found.
4000 BC. That's, what, 6,000 years ago?
Give or take. But here's the thing. They weren't making windows or bottles. It was glazes for beads.
Glazes, like decorative stuff.
Yep. Shows you, even way back then, people wanted to beautify, to express themselves.
It's like that human urge to create no matter what technology is available.
Exactly. But from spear tips to beads, there's a big jump to actually making containers out of glass.
Right, that's got to be a whole different ballgame.
Huge game changer. And that happened around 1500 BC, according to the text.
Wow, so we're talking storage, transport, maybe even early food preservation?
Right, like it's the ancient version of plastic, but way classier.
Huh, definitely classier. But also more challenging, I'd imagine.
Oh, for sure. And speaking of challenging, our text mentions the 1st century BC as the dawn of glass blowing.
Now, that's some serious skill.
I know, right? Imagine those artisans shaping molten glass. It's got to be mesmerizing.
It's an art form for sure, but back then, they had a problem. Impurities.
Impurities? Like, what do you mean?
So the glass wasn't always clear like we're used to. It had color variations because of stuff mixed in.
Oh, all those historical images we see, maybe they weren't as colorful as we think.
Could be. We kind of assume glass is clear, but that's a more modern thing.
Makes you wonder what else we've got wrong, just based on what we see now.
It's a good point. And speaking of controlling how things look, the Romans were kind of the glass masters for a while.
The Romans!
Yep, they had a tight grip on glass-making secrets. Like, they didn't want the knowledge spreading.
Ah, knowledge is power. Even back then, it wasn't until Rome fell that things opened up more.
It's true. Kind of like how the internet has spread information like wildfire these days.
A good parallel. And with Rome out of the picture, new glass-making hotspots popped up.
Venice is a good one, according to the text. Their artisans were like rock stars, traveling all over, sharing their skills.
Venice, huh? It makes you think, why does one place become the place for certain crafts?
Resources, maybe? Or patrons who support the arts?
Probably a mix of everything, but let's shift gears to a name that caught my eye. George Ravenscroft.
Ravenscroft, what'd he do?
This guy was obsessed with getting rid of cloudy glass.
Ah, so he was aiming for that crystal clear look?
Exactly. But at this, he ended up inventing lead crystal by accident.
Big accidentally. I thought that was some big scientific breakthrough.
No, pure chance. He was trying to clarify the glass, added lead oxide, and boom.
Huh, so sometimes the biggest discoveries are just lucky breaks.
Seems like it. But lead crystal wasn't just clear, it was softer, easier to work with, super sparkly.
That's what gives fine glassware that extra brilliance, right?
The very same. But here's what blew my mind. Lead crystal made optics possible.
Whoa, you're talking telescopes, microscopes, the whole shebang.
All because of this accidental invention. It's insane how something so simple changed our view of, well, everything.
Seriously, it's hard to overstate how big of a deal that was for science, for philosophy, for how we understand the universe.
And we started with spear tips. What a journey, right? It shows how glass, this basic material, is woven into human history in ways we don't even realize.
It's a good reminder that even the simplest things can have the most complex stories.
Absolutely. And speaking of stories, this one's just getting started. How did glass go from a craft to a full-blown industry? That's where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Buckle up, because we're about to enter the world of politics and economics with a little twist of intrigue thrown in for good measure.
Sounds like a recipe for a good story.
Trust me, this one's got it all. Starting with the Excise Act. Who knew taxes could hold back innovation?
Oh boy, here we go.
I know, right? Our text talks about how heavy taxes on glass production in Britain between 1745 and 1845 basically stifled the whole industry.
So one government policy can have a huge impact, even centuries ago.
Absolutely. It makes you think about what we're doing now that might be hindering progress without us realizing it.
Good point. It's worth thinking about.
Definitely. But back to glass. Thankfully, the Excise Act was eventually repealed, paving the way for, well, a glass renaissance.
Renaissance. Now I'm really curious.
Get ready for this. The mid-1800s sees the arrival of Joseph Paxton and his masterpiece, the Crystal Palace.
The Crystal Palace. I've heard the name, but
Imagine this, a massive building almost entirely made of glass. It showed everyone what this material was really capable of.
okay, now that's impressive, like taking glass from windows to architecture on a grand scale.
Exactly. Our text describes it as this incredible statement showcasing the potential of glass like never before.
Talk about a game changer. It must have influenced design in a big way.
Oh, absolutely. And alongside this shift, glass making itself got a technological boost.
What kind of boost are we talking?
Semi-automatic machines entered the scene. Ashley's invention could pump out 200 bottles an hour.
200. That must have seemed like magic back then.
Right. But it gets even crazier. In 1907, Michael Owens unveils his fully automated marvel, making a whopping 2,500 bottles an hour.
Whoa, 2,500. That's mass production on a whole other level.
It wasn't just speed, though. It was about making glass affordable, accessible to everyone.
It's like the classic tale of how tech changes not just an industry, but society itself.
And here's a fascinating twist. For all its history, glass didn't really become a science thing until World War I.
World War One. That's a strange connection.
I know, right? Before that, it was mainly craft and industry. But the war disrupted trade, so countries like Britain needed to get self-sufficient fast.
So necessity breeds innovation, even in wartime.
Exactly. Suddenly, everyone's focused on the scientific properties of glass, its precision, its specialized uses.
It's like this material had been waiting for its moment to shine in the scientific world.
It's kind of poetic when you think about it. So from ancient tools to mass production to high-tech application, glass has come a long way, but there's still so much more to uncover.
You're saying this deep dive's just getting started.
Oh, just scratching the surface. Next up, we're delving into the world of cutting-edge tech and the mind-blowing ways glass is shaping our future.
All right, let's do it. I'm ready for more.
Get ready to have your mind blown because we're going deep into fiber optics, solar panels, even bioglass.
Bioglass. Glass that can go inside the human body.
You heard that right, and that's just the beginning. We'll also be exploring how glass is playing a key role in the development of quantum computers.
Quantum computers. This is getting seriously futuristic.
It is, but as with any powerful technology, there are ethical considerations as well.
Right, like with great power comes great responsibility, right?
Exactly. We need to think about the potential consequences of these advancements.
Like privacy concerns with facial recognition technology, for example.
That's a big one. And of course, we can't forget about sustainability.
Absolutely. As our reliance on glass grows, so too must our efforts to recycle and manufacture responsibly.
We've got to close the loop, so to speak, using recycled glass in new and innovative ways.
Like in building materials, as we talked about earlier.
Right. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The possibilities seem endless, which is really exciting.
It's a great example of how innovation and sustainability can work together.
So at the start, we wondered how something as common as glass-shaped civilization.
And I think we're finding out it's had a pretty big impact, wouldn't you say?
It's been a constant throughout history, from the earliest tools to the tech of the future.
And it looks like that trend's going to continue.
Absolutely. It's inspiring to think that this material, born from the Earth, has the potential to help us reach for the stars.
Literally and figuratively.
Exactly. And that brings us to the next phase of our deep dive, exploring the artistic applications of glass.
Oh, so we're going beyond the traditional craft of glass blowing.
You bet. We're talking about contemporary glass art that pushes the boundaries of what's possible with this material.
I'm all for pushing boundaries. What kind of things are we talking about specifically?
Think sculptures, installations, even wearable art.
Whoa, glass you can wear. That's pretty cool.
Right. It's like taking this fragile material and turning it into something both beautiful and functional.
I'm picturing intricate glass jewelry, delicate but strong.
That's the idea. And some artists are incorporating recycled glass into their work, adding a whole other layer of meaning.
It's like they're taking something we discard and transforming it into something beautiful and thought-provoking.
Talk about making a statement. It really speaks to the endearing allure of glass.
It's fragile, yet strong, transparent, yet capable of holding color and light. It's fascinating.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground already, from ancient obsidian to the artistic expressions of today.
We've seen how glass has impacted warfare, science, architecture, you name it.
And along the way, it's reflected human ingenuity, our desire to create, to explore, to understand the world around us.
And that exploration is still ongoing.
Exactly. But for now, we're going to pause our deep dive here.
Oh, but it's just getting good.
I know, right? But don't worry, we'll be back soon to delve even deeper into the mysteries of glass.
Can't wait.
Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
See you next time.
Bye for now.
Okay, so where were we? Yes, glass is a high-tech hero.
You got it. And get this, we're talking fiber optics. Those tiny strands of glass, they're what make the internet work.
No way, really. I always thought it was like electrical signals or something.
Nope, it's light, pulses of light zipping through these super thin glass fibers, crazy fast.
That's wild. It's like a hidden network made of glass connecting the whole world.
It really is. But hold on, it gets even cooler. Remember those solar panels we talked about?
Yeah, harnessing the power of the sun, that's pretty awesome.
It is. But did you know it's not just any glass that can do that? It's special stuff designed to capture as much sunlight as possible.
So there's like a whole science behind making the right kind of glass for solar panels.
Totally. And then there's the bioglass.
Bioglass. That sounds kind of scary.
It's actually the opposite. It's glass that can be implanted in the human body.
Wait, what? Glass inside you?
You heard right. It can bond with bone and tissue, so it's perfect for implants and prosthetics.
Wow, it's like something out of a sci-fi movie.
It is pretty futuristic. And get this, they're even using it in regenerative medicine to help repair damaged tissue.
That's incredible. So we've got glass helping us communicate, harnessing the sun's energy, and now healing our bodies. Is there anything it can't do?
Right, it's like the ultimate multitasker. But hold on, we're not done yet. Some scientists believe glass could be key to developing quantum computers.
Quantum computers, now that's just showing off.
I know, right? It's next-level computing, using quantum mechanics to solve problems that would take regular computers forever.
Okay, now my brain's starting to hurt, but it sounds super cool.
It is, and some researchers think certain types of glass could be used to create the qubits, which are like the building blocks of these quantum computers.
So glass could be powering the computers of the future. Mind-blowing.
It's crazy to think about, right? From ancient tools to futuristic tech, this material is constantly surprising us.
It just shows you, never underestimate the power of glass. But with all this power comes responsibility, right?
You got it. Just like any powerful tool, we need to use these glass-powered technologies wisely.
Like with facial recognition, for example. Super useful, but it raises privacy concerns.
Exactly. We need to find that balance between innovation and ethical use.
And of course, sustainability is still a big issue.
Absolutely. As we rely more on glass for all this amazing tech, we need to make sure we're recycling and manufacturing responsibly.
Closing the loop, right? Less waste, more efficiency.
That's the goal. And the good news is there are already tons of ways to do that, like using crushed glass in building materials.
Oh yeah, we talked about that earlier. It's great for concrete, asphalt, even insulation.
Exactly. And there's so much more potential out there, like using recycled glass in water filtration or 3D printing.
It sounds like we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
I think so too. And that's what makes this whole topic so exciting, right? This simple material, glass, has the potential to solve some of humanity's biggest challenges.
It's a good reminder that sometimes the most impactful solutions come from the most unexpected places.
All right, so we've gone from the internet to solar panels to quantum computers. What's next on our glass-tastic journey?
Well, we've talked a lot about the science and technology of glass, but we can't forget about its artistic side.
Oh, you're talking about those Venetian glass blowers, right?
Them too, but I'm thinking even beyond that. Let's dive into the world of contemporary glass art, where artists are pushing boundaries and redefining what's possible with this material.
Okay, now you've got my attention. What kind of art are we talking about here? So we've covered a lot of ground in our glass exploration, from ancient history to cutting-edge tech and even art.
It's amazing how this one material has touched so many aspects of human experience, isn't it?
It really is, but I'm curious, where do we go from here? What's the future of glass?
Well, I think one thing's for sure, glass is going to play a major role in tackling some of the big challenges we're facing, like climate change.
Climate change, huh? How does glass fit into that picture?
Think about it. As we shift to cleaner energy, we need things like solar panels and wind turbines, right?
Right, but what does that have to do with glass?
Well, a lot of solar panels are made with specialized glass to maximize energy capture.
Ah, I see. So it's not just about the frames or anything.
Exactly. And wind turbines need super strong, lightweight blades, a lot of which use glass fibers.
Oh, that's right. Glass fibers are incredibly strong for their weight, perfect for those giant blades.
Precisely. And don't forget about buildings. Glass can help us regulate temperature and reduce our energy consumption.
So it's not just about generating clean energy, it's about using it more efficiently, too.
Exactly. Glass is versatile like that. It can be adapted for all sorts of applications.
And of course, there's the whole recycling aspect. We've got to keep that loop closed.
Absolutely. Glass is infinitely recyclable. Melt it down and use it again and again. No loss of quality.
It's the perfect example of a circular economy in action, reducing waste and conserving resources.
Right. And as technology keeps developing, we're finding even more innovative ways to recycle and repurpose glass.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, remember how we talked about crushed glass being used in building materials?
Yeah, it can go in concrete, asphalt, insulation, all sorts of things.
Exactly. But it doesn't stop there. Researchers are looking at using it for water filtration systems, even 3D printing materials.
Wow, the possibilities are really endless, aren't they? It's almost like we're rediscovering glass all over again.
I think that's a great way to put it. We're learning more about its properties, finding new ways to use it. It's really exciting.
It's kind of mind-blowing that something so commonplace could hold the key to solving some of our biggest problems.
It is. It reminds us that sometimes the answers are right in front of us. We just need to look at things with fresh eyes.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of glass, what's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from all this?
I hope they come away with a new appreciation for this amazing material. It's more than just windows and bottles.
It's shaped our history, our technology, and it's going to play a vital role in our future, that's for sure.
Absolutely. It's a testament to human ingenuity, how we can take something found in nature and transform it into something so versatile and impactful.
Well said. I know I'll never look at a piece of glass the same way again. It's a reminder that even most ordinary things can be extraordinary.
I couldn't agree more.
And on that note, it's time for us to say goodbye. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of glass.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.